Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Conversations with Yoders Farm. Lowell is here with me today, and this is Eldon on this side of the mic. So Lowell, welcome to the podcast.
Yes, sir, Eldon. It's good to be here. Good to be here.
It's been a little bit, almost 2 months since we recorded. Not quite.
Actually, over almost 3 months.
Oh, that's right. Wow.
You said August the 8th.
It's been a little bit of a blur, I guess. So we have lots to talk about. I guess.
Lots to talk about. So where do you want to start?
How about
now that we've fixed your equipment?
How about August 9th?
And don't I usually get headphones? I feel like I was demoted. I don't have headphones.
No, you never liked them and didn't wear them half the time, so.
Yeah, I did.
Well, it's more complicated to set up, so
okay.
Whatever.
Oh, goodness.
So, yeah, I guess we'll just kind of recap the last couple of months and a short podcast episode here.
Well, the last couple of months have been very interesting, I would say.
Yeah.
Would you say it would be fair to say, I feel like I'm saying too many says in the same sentence. But
it's anyway, okay if you don't say anything about it.
Okay. This has probably been one of our more challenging fall seasons, just across the board.
Yeah, I think that is fair.
Maybe not the fall stuff. Yeah, no, I forgot the storm. Yeah,
it's had its challenges.
I forgot the hurricane, so it's definitely been one of the more challenging fall seasons.
Yeah, so August, let's see, our fall season didn't start till middle of September. So August was a lot of preparatory kind of getting ready for fall stuff. Into September was the same. Y'all made strawberry beds in early September?
Yeah, something like that. Maybe right at the end of August.
Yeah.
I think, because we were hoping to get strawberry plants in the mid-ish to late mid-ish time frame of September.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so that all was kind of the big stuff between the beginning of August and when we started, right? Our fall season.
Yeah, I think so. And pumpkins were growing, and we were working with them until sometime into September a little bit, and they were pretty much getting mature, though we've been picking pumpkins ever since, honestly. Yeah. So should we just break stuff down, I guess, in categories?
Yeah, let's do categories, kind of.
That's the easiest way to do it, instead of by months.
Yeah, why don't we start with the strawberry stuff, since that's kind of where we're talking about.
Yeah, so we got our beds in. It was a little later than I had hoped, but it wasn't. We've been later, so I didn't feel too badly about that. And we made fairly decent beds. We had some issues making beds, and I had a issue on the bed maker, and had to get apart, and it wasn't that big a deal, but it delayed some of them by a few more days and stuff. And then we started hearing rumbles about plants not coming in on, strawberry tips not coming in on time out of Canada, and growers waiting on those. So we get our strawberry plants from through a friend of ours who propagates them.
Yeah.
But they have to get out of Canada in a timely way and get over to his place, and then he has to have labor and everything to get them set. And anyway, so we started hearing some of these issues and began to be a little concerned about
once they're stuck. There's even a several
4 to 5 week
period
of time while they're growing out before you can actually plant them.
Yeah.
So we were pretty sure that our planting dates were going to be late, and indeed we were right. So We got little drips and drabs of plants several times. Like, one variety would be ready, and we ran over a couple times to his place to pick up some quantity of our plants, and then they delivered some other quantities.
I think it ended up being 3 or 4 different kind of
we planted
breakdowns
in drips and drabs over about a month. And actually, literally just finished up like last week sometime, which is horrifically late for us.
About, a month late?
Close.
Yeah, maybe not quite. But
I mean, we've planted already into October 6th, 7th, 8th, but
those first weeks
really
are very important for establishing the plant and stuff.
Yeah, you kind of need some warmth in the fall, and then you need it to get some cool development where those roots can really get going and stuff, and then that sets you up for good things in the spring. But I mean, we weren't alone. I was hearing from many of my grower friends, and in fact, I just talked to one today. They're east of us by a good bit, so their planting date is generally several weeks behind ours, but he's literally still planting. So he just got his plants.
Yeah.
So it's just been a disaster across the board, pretty much for most growers that I know in Virginia, and some I follow in North Carolina and so forth.
Yeah.
Though there are a few that happen to get their stuff early, got it in on time, and they're great. They're good for them. Their plants look good. So
what's the game plan on the plants? They're all planted now.
Yeah, and the other kind of the double whammy is it also seemed to be almost across the board as the plants just did not look great this year. And it doesn't necessarily seem to be tied to a certain grower or,
propagator.
Yeah, right. They just, here, you can keep talking while I check out this call.
I'm not really sure what to talk about strawberry related.
Okay. Anyway. Yeah, so
hopefully that wasn't somebody lost in the corn maze.
Plants are small. We had trouble. Part of the reason we had trouble pulling the plants out of the trays to plant them. Like the plugs would not hold together.
It really made planting extremely slow.
The roots weren't, like, you need kind of a root ball to hold the medium soil media.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's
together.
Might be media on one plant.
Yeah. Anyway, you need it to make a nice little root ball. You need decent roots, and we were really having trouble with them pulling. The roots would just pull out and come out without soil.
So you'd have a plant with roots, but
you
not
would
a
expect if you were trying to push these things and get them done in a few weeks instead of 5 or 6 weeks. But they also were very, I don't know, they just don't look great. I mean, a lot of my plants didn't look great coming in. They were small, not very well rooted. And my other contacts or acquaintances seems to be a lot of the same issues, just very nasty looking plants. And so we're all quite concerned about what this means for next spring.
They just look a little stunted, like they're not as tall as they should
normal.
be. Yeah.
So, you wonder about disease issues in the mother plants. Is there something weird going on with the mother plants in Canada, or all these things? Anyway, they're in the ground now, and we are just doing the best we can.
Yeah.
October has been actually a little bit cool. I mean, cooler than normal, I would say, at least during the middle part. Now, thankfully, here at the end, it's warmed up quite a bit. But
I think
I'm happy for any 70-degree day from here going forward, just to try to get some more growth on these things. And then everyone's talking about pulling row covers earlier than normal, just to try to keep those nighttime temperatures up and keep the plants
kind of encourage
growing
more growth.
some, and just making the best of a not ideal situation, basically.
Well, and you won't know what all it means till next spring.
But almost certainly we're looking at some yield loss. I mean, that's directly related to planting date, but also if you're dealing with plants that just aren't getting established well and potential disease issues and so forth, well, that can have a big impact on your bottom line.
We will keep monitoring it.
Yeah, I mean, all you can do at this point, you can't get other, there were no other good plants available. I mean, we were fortunate to get the plants. So plants I've never heard of plants being so tight as they were this fall.
Yeah.
Riots breaking out. No, not quite, but almost.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone was clamoring for plants.
Well, we were concerned about getting all of ours for a while, too.
I've heard stories of people literally getting half of their plants, having their plastic laid, but only getting half their plants. Well, then you just spend a ton of money on putting out rows that you don't need.
Right,
so then what, all those things. Anyway.
Maybe it will encourage diversity in farming going forward as far as maybe they can plant some other stuff next spring. I don't know.
Maybe.
It's not ideal.
Anyway, it's been a bit of a zoo.
Yeah.
I just hope that the big wigs, the plant suppliers and some of these people can figure some things out to improve the situation for another year, because growing strawberries is enough of a challenge.
It's stressful enough, and when everything comes together like it's supposed to.
Man, but so much is riding on your plants, and if you don't have a good foundation, then it really gets you off to a bad start. So we will see. We'll try to take really good care of them, and it's about all you can do at this point. Hope for the best.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the strawberry front. I have just a few covers pulled, but since our daytime temperatures have been up into the 70s some, and our night times haven't been terribly cold just in the last couple of weeks, my plan is to maybe wait a week or so and then pull some covers on, because it's a bit of a juggle with covers too, because row covers actually shade them somewhat
during the day.
Yeah. But
then they do help.
Even your best covers are probably maybe 50-60% light transmission rate or whatever. So,
so during the day you're almost you're not hurting things necessarily.
If it gets too warm under there, you are.
Yeah,
you can easily get up into the 80s.
So it's a matter of
the 70s.
It's a matter of temperature and shading.
Yeah, in a perfect world, you would put them on at night and pull them off every day.
Put them on a couple hours before dark.
Yeah,
pull them off in the morning.
We just physically don't have the labor to do that.
Yeah,
and across 5+ acres of berries.
Yeah, there's not a good solution for pushing a button and putting them on and taking them off, but.
And covers make other issues. Almost certainly it causes spider mites to grow under there, because their optimum temperatures for growing are whatever,
a little warmer.
And so you're just creating an anyway, covers are a great tool, but they also have some downsides. So
yeah, for sure.
Anyway, trying to feed them a little fertilizer and grow the roots, and we'll see what happens.
Yep. Well, it sounds like farming to me. It's always a matter of working on the front end to hopefully have something on the back end.
Like if we were, looking into the future, and if you could tell me in at the end of May that we had actually picked an average strawberry crop at this point, I would definitely sign up for that, because I'm worried about even getting to average.
Yeah, very good. Well, not very good, but
So
interesting.
enough negativity. Let's move on to more negative things. Briefly, our tomato crop, we've had some issues there as well.
Establishing plants.
Yeah, but we actually we're planting now, basically.
Yeah.
Basically, we're going to be a month and a half.
You're transplanting,
later.
right?
Yeah, we're transplanting, transplant little tomato plants. So rather than having tomatoes like in hopefully mid-November, hopefully, like our original plan was, it's looking more like hopefully by Christmas, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
If all goes well.
Yeah, I've been telling people to check back. I knew we were some later this year. But
We're going to have two. Basically, we're not going to have an early fall house. We're just going to have two that come in about the same time.
Okay.
Hopefully, once we actually have tomatoes, we'll have a decent supply.
Well, there you go. Hopefully.
We'll see. Hopefully. Yeah, that's kind of that. We'll talk more about them going forward. And then, I guess the fall season, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I guess we should.
So, what about it?
Well, it's
corn maze and pumpkins and such.
Yeah, so I can briefly talk about the corn maze. I think it's a little over 11 acres this year, if I'm remembering right. It really grew well this year. We got water when it was needed, and the variety of corn we plant crisscrossed in there. It's a tropical variety, so it grew really well when it got more water than some years. Let's see, I think I cut the maize in early August or late July for the first time, and then towards the end of August or just into September a bit, I cut it again one more time just to make sure the trails were kind of cleaned up and good to go. We opened September the 17th and had a couple of good weeks there with a nice tall corn maze. And then Hurricane Ian, the remainders of Hurricane Ian came through, and we had some really high winds one night, and none of us slept very well. Your strawberry beds, you lost some plastic almost.
That was one other thing I was going to say about this, the challenging fall for strawberries. Yeah. I mean, we shoveled so much plastic.
Literally rows and rows.
And rows and rows. I've never shoveled as much plastic.
Yeah, basically
repairing plastic that we put down. Like, usually one side would blow off, and then so you have to go back with a shovel and pull the plastic tight and re-shovel back over. And anyway, I'm quite good at doing that now. Have the technique down.
Yeah, although you really hope you never have to do it again.
Yeah, generally you have to do a little bit, but I've never had as much as
high winds just are not good for that.
Yeah.
So
anyway, back to
that did a number on the maize in several places. It basically spots, it was kind of weird. It looked like there was a current kind of down through the...
Kind of followed the topography maybe of the...
And so in some places the corn was kind of blown over. In other places it was snapped off about...
most of the damage I saw
5 feet above the ground.
Yeah, just like snapped in half, or a little lower than half, maybe a third up the stalk.
Yeah, but it didn't affect the trails too much. It just made for kind of a weird in-between the trails.
Yeah, it made some spots way more open, like you could see into the next section, basically.
Right. It just kind of made things a little weird. But the maze still seems to work as far as...
Yeah, people are having fun. It's just not as nice and dense as it could be.
It's like Dad said, it's a weathered maze.
Distressed, I think.
Distressed, yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing, so we had the cold snap about a week and a half ago. Week ago. Yeah, a week and a half ago.
I forget.
This is October 28th as we record this. Did we say that?
I'm not sure, probably not.
So but we actually have basically a killing freeze frost. So the maize is like it's as dry, like it kills corn obviously at those temperatures.
It's about as dry as we've ever had.
Yeah, normally sometimes we close and don't even have a killing frost into the first part of November, so that makes it
we had to cover pumpkins because we were worried about them freezing that night too.
We literally pulled row covers over top of some specialty pumpkins in the field because they're especially sensitive to.
I don't think we've ever done that.
We've never
before.
done that. Yeah, very rarely have we worried about low temperatures, and so
So I'm not sure what more to say about the maize, but
all these things together, I think but on the positive side about all this stuff is it's been a great fall as far as customer support, sales, all those things have been up.
And weekend temperatures and days
weather
have been beautiful.
We've had a few. Well, the weekend of the hurricane was a total washout.
Yeah.
You said that probably.
I don't know if I said that, but
yeah. Other than that,
that was like the first Saturday.
We've had like little blips of rain, but they've all been very manageable. And
help settle the dust. Honestly.
So, you can have quarter to half inch and still roll the next day. And so the whole fall has been kind of like that other than that one weekend. So the weather's been, and even next week, typically on into November, it's getting almost too cold to do mazes or whatever. But it's supposed to be back up into the 70s again. So we might actually have one decent final day. Today is chilly, but it's been the exception.
Yeah, I think it was a high of 60 today or something, 60th couple. Yeah, so I'm not sure that's kind of the maize. What else do we need to talk about?
Precious little.
Pumpkins. I guess you could kind of talk about your pumpkin crops, huh?
Yeah, overall it was a pretty decent crop. We were a little short of where I wanted to be on orange carving pumpkins, but I don't know if they maybe just didn't set quite right. Like, it didn't seem like we had the number per square foot or acre as sometimes, but the pumpkins we had were nice. But it did seem like the specialty ones did extremely well. We're still going to have a few left over, I think. But I'd rather have too many than not enough. I say that every year, but
they work well for cow feed.
And cooking. A lot of them are good cooking pumpkins. And anyway, it's a good pumpkin year, I think, across the board.
Did you learn anything, Lowell?
Did I learn anything? Well, variety wise, I'll probably do some tweaking next year. I just like a nice kind of a moderate sized pumpkin. We don't need to grow these honking big 20, 25, 30 pound pumpkins, especially with pick-your-own pumpkins, and you have people
we sell them by the piece, not by the price. So a heavier pumpkin,
the pound.
By the pound. So a heavier pumpkin doesn't necessarily mean more income for us.
At least the orange carvers are that way.
Right. Yeah.
But who's revving their engine?
I don't know. I don't know if you can quite hear it in the recording or not.
We also have people over here at the cows.
Okay.
Probably all fine. The joys of agritourism.
Yeah.
What was I saying about pumpkins? When you're doing pick your own pumpkins, having a manageable pumpkin also there's something to be said for that. You're not going to lug 20, 25 pound pumpkins back up to the tent. It takes some work. But
really stresses out your wheelbarrows too.
Yeah. But a moderate sized pumpkin, Anyway. And I really do like having, I plant pumpkins from the middle-ish of June or a little bit later on into the 1st of July. And I really like having the ability to go out and cut nice fresh pumpkins that have nice green stems, and you can do that throughout most of the month of October. And when you buy pumpkins, you don't have that luxury. So,
yeah, you just kind of get what was harvested one day.
yeah,
And it's not a matter of just when they're harvested; it's a matter of when they're planted. So they, to some extent,
and if they cut them for a couple of weeks, the stems shrivel down.
Yeah.
And they're just not as nice. So,
yep.
if you can grow things yourself, and I don't know, you have more factors in your control generally, and generally can have a better product, I guess. Whatever.
Maybe next about June sometime we should talk through the different varieties you decide to go with.
Yeah, I think we had a decent balance this year. Maybe a little heavy on a few, but
yeah. Well, I know a lot of nice ones walked out of here. So you do grow a nice looking pumpkin.
Well, I don't really do much except put the seed in the ground,
and water it and stuff.
Yeah, a few other things. I just like having a big diversity of pumpkins because we probably grow 50 varieties, I would think, if not a few more. So
yeah. All right, so that's pumpkins. That's corn maze. That's strawberries. What else do we need to mention?
Nothing.
Okay.
That's good.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know. It just seemed like after Ian went through and we had all that wind and stuff, as far as the fall stuff, we were just pretty thankful for, it wasn't a disaster.
Well, we were worried right after in the aftermath as we were cleaning up and
what makes
shoveling plastic and doing all this, looking at the corn maze. But you could have told us then how the next 3 weekends would go, which were extremely busy. Some of the busiest we've ever had.
Yeah.
Anyway, it makes you thankful for your customers and when the sun shines and that things are as good as they are. So
yeah, if you can average or trend just a little bit above whatever the negativity line, we all get happier towards the end of the year, I guess. All right, well, I think we've talked long enough. Wow, we're coming up on not quite a half an hour, so better wrap it up.
Yeah.
Any parting words?
No, I just need to go do a few things yet. So,
all right. Well,
shut her down.
Thank you all for listening. If you made it this far, bless your heart. As always, you can find out more about everything over at yodersfarm.com, and we'll probably get on the mics again at some point eventually.
We can talk about the store sometime in the future.
Yeah, maybe that would be a good episode. We should get
upgraded or expanded the store.
Maybe we should get Mom or Dad in to talk about that.
There you go. Then they wouldn't have to listen to us.
There you go. All right. Talk to you all later. See ya.